And it's Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio. We're in Atlanta, Georgia today at the Army-Georgia State game. And I have a chance to chat with an Army officer who is in charge of recruiting here in Atlanta, and that is Lieutenant Colonel Fred Parker. Colonel, good to see you. What's it like to be out here at the football game today with West Point playing?
Hey, sir, as you said, my name is Lieutenant Colonel Frederick Parker, and I'm Atlanta Recruiting Battalion Commander. Anytime that you can come out and see a West Point game, it's a great day. It's raining, but I'm looking forward to seeing the Golden Knights.
Very good. Tell us a little bit about what you do in recruiting. We just heard we were at a meeting in Washington this week, and we heard about trying to get new families into to have a son or daughter join the Army and the great opportunities for soldiers to learn leadership. What are some of the opportunities that you can offer recruits today?
So some of the opportunities that we offer to young men or young women in that great age range from 17 to 21, you come in, you learn how to be a leader. We send you through 10 weeks of training and basic training, and then after finishing basic training, you go off to advanced individual training and learn to do your job that you selected to join the Army as. And it ranges from a couple weeks all the way up to a year in some cases.
Very good, and we know there's about 17 branches for the Army, led by the combat arms, infantry, armor, field artillery, and so many specialties. What are some of the opportunities that a soldier joining the Army can consider?
So I'm a chemical officer by trade. I have my degree in college is a civil engineer. I'm not doing an engineering job right now. That's one of the great unique things about the Army. It's a diverse program where you get to do a job that you select. So you can range from being infantry all the way being to a doctor or a nurse or a dentist technician. So it's any job that you see in the civilian world, you can do in the Army.
Very good. And a lot of Army bases in the Southeast, certainly Fort Benning. Did you ever get to take some of the recruits out to watch training or to visit some of the bases in the area?
So as a battalion commander, we do it twice a year. We take our future soldiers, the soldiers that are waiting to go to basic training, we take them to Fort Benning to show them the life of a soldier so that there's no surprise once they get the basic training for themselves. So it's no surprise. So we take them to Fort Benning or any other installation close to my footprint.
Very good. And you mentioned, tell us a little bit about your background. You mentioned starting the Army in ROTC. What have been some of the stops of the path of your Army career?
Great question, sir. As a high school senior, came from a family where my mother couldn't afford to put me into college, so I immediately joined the Army Reserves. Went to basic training as a split ops when I did the opportunity to go to basic training, and then AIT, Advanced Individual Training, the next summer. So once I went to basic training, I fell in love with the Army. So I immediately came back and switched over to active duty as a brand new private, went to Fort Hood, Texas. And then my life changed forever. Where I was a company commander's driver, and he saw something in me and recommended that I go to Green and Gold, where that's the program where you change over from being an enlisted soldier to being an officer in the United States Army. And I've been an officer since 1998.
Well, we have so much respect for someone who starts as an enlisted soldier and is able to advance to become an officer. Some people call you a Mustang with tremendous respect. Tell us a little bit about what are some of the opportunities for a soldier to serve in the National Guard and also in the reserves, as well as active duty.
So, I can't speak much about the National Guard, but I could tell you, once I came back for the Green and Gold program, I immediately joined the Army Reserve program as an engineer. And in the reserves, that's where you get to go one weekend out of a month, and you get to serve and put on this uniform and represent your country. And then 2 weeks out of that summer, you get to go represent and train to be a soldier to really learn to do your job for a 2-week period on active duty.
Oh, very good. Now, maybe we just finish up and talk about what you enjoy about being a soldier and officer in the U.S. Army and why it's such a good leadership development opportunity for a high school student to consider.
So as an Army officer, you come in right away. You're in charge of anywhere from 25 to 30 people. In no organization are you going to be, you will have that opportunity to serve and have people work for you, and you get to learn how to be a leader and advance yourself in any market. I would tell you, if you can be successful in the Army, you can be successful in anything in life that you put your mind to, sir.
Well, Lieutenant Colonel Fred Parker from the Atlanta Recruiting Battalion. Real great to chat with you here at the Army Georgia State football game, and from everybody at the American Legion, thank you for your service to our country. Great to meet you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to talk, sir.
Okay, good to see you. We're going to see a good football game tonight. So, from Atlanta, Georgia, for Sons of the American Legion Radio, this is Ken Kraetzer.